Hi again, everyone. I'm going to show you how to make these cards here. I've just done a little video on how to stencil, so how to colour in with stencil. So if you want a bit more detail, please just go into the little previous video. So this set is using the Layers of Beauty stamp, die and decorative mask set. So I'm absolutely in love with it. I think it's absolutely beautiful. The three cards that I've got here, they're all done with the same pink and the same green. So it's just the different depths of colour, so the amount of colour that I've had on the blending tools. So these blending brushes are just so beautiful for getting lots of variation in the same colour. So lots of different shades is the word I'm looking for. So you can see here how different all the pinks are, but it's from the same ink pad. That's Petunia Pop. So it's one of the new in colours. So it's just a lovely colour. The ink, the green ink I've used on these cards is Close to My Heart ink because I didn't have a Stampin' Up ink pad at that stage. But now I've got this one, which is called Mint Macaron, which is a retired one, but it's still in the clearance rack and it's only on for about $5.40 or something like that. So if you love this colour, which I'm loving it, so it's this colour green here with the same Petunia Pop, then head online. So if you want to shop with me, it's lucyjones.stampinup.net. If you pop that into your Google search, you'll find me. Or you can always just give me a ring and I can order it for you. My husband's just walking in the door now, so if you hear noise, it's him. So just ignore him. Not that I do, I love him dearly. So I'm going to pop these aside, and first of all, I've got my stamped die cut here already. Now with this one, it's quite a detailed die, but I find it's quite easy to stamp if you want to die cut first and then stamp, or you can always stamp and then die cut. So whatever you prefer. If you're wanting to do quite a few, I find it's easier to die cut quite a few, and the dies will cut two at a time. So if you're going to do a bulk batch, then die cut first. Then what I find to make it easier to line up is if you're putting your white die, so say this is the side, if you're putting your white die cut on a colourful image, and then it's easy to line up your stamp. And I find standing right over the top of it, this isn't going to work because it's back to front, but if you're standing right over the top of it and then you're lining it up, it lines up a lot better. Now you'll see with the different cards, you'll see this one is what I call the contemporary card. It's stamped with black, and you can see it quite easily. Whereas these two look a bit more like watercolours, and that's because I've stamped with a pale grey. So you can just see the lines here and the lines here. Okay, so that's been stamped with a pale grey to give that more vintage look, and then I've edged with the brown. So I'm going to just do this contemporary one just to make it quick and easy. But it just, again, it shows you the variety that you can use and how you can change the look of a card. And you'll see this one has been set onto the card straight, the postage, perennial postage dies on the back, and this one's been put on a little bit off kilter. So again, it's just playing around with your cards, not always having them straight up and down, having a bit of a play around and the different effects. And this one I've just edged with the brown to give it that vintage look. So this one I've edged with a little bit of brown. This one I've heavily edged with the brown. So again, it's that sort of effect, the type of effect you're trying to achieve with the cards that you're making. So these, I've also fallen in love with the embossing folders. So this is the exposed brick embossing folder and floral layers, I think, embossing folder, but they're just, again, they're quite beautiful and give a really detailed emboss. So that's the exposed brick. So you can see you've got the mortar showing up more on this side and then the brickwork showing up. So you could use either side, again, depending on what you're trying to achieve. And the same with the floral. You've got the debossed side here and then the embossed side here. So again, they're very detailed. You can't see a lot of the detail on the cards. It gets lost a little bit. But again, I think rather than just having a flat layer, having a bit of detail at the back just adds to the card a little bit. Also, the other little thing I've done is just add another one of the little stamps. So now I've put it somewhere safe. This little stamp here also comes in the layers of beauty, and I've just added that as a little feature here. You could also add it onto the inside of your card as another little feature, and you could add it to your envelope that you're going to put it into. So I've used the florals there. So what I might just do is use the brick work for this one. So I've already embossed. Oh, dearie me, sorry about that. I just knocked your skew with. So to open your ink pads, you're just splitting them apart here and then just sliding it in. So I'm just going to do a little edge on this. So again, just give it a little bit of a pounce, even though I circled it. And I'm just going to put some colour on the edge. And the joy of blending brushes is that you can get it as dark or as light as you feel. You've got really good control over the colour. Now put that aside there. Open up the petunia pop. Put those aside so we don't get muck on them. And then we're going to just line up our stencils. So we could go the leaves. So all of the stencils are numbered 1 to 5. So there's 3 for the flowers and 2 for the leaves. And they've got a little notch, a little triangle taken out here so we can line them up more easily. So what I'm going to do is just to make lining up easier, I'm just going to put a little bit of double-sided tape on the back of our little stamped image. And then if you look, so I don't know if you can see that one there. I think it's hard to see. I think maybe you can just see it. So it's etched into the stencil. So there's a little one there. So we're going to start with that. Now to line up your stencils, you go, well, what's on the stencil? So I can see 2 big roses here and a third one there. So 1, 2, 3. So that's where we're going to line up. And then we've got these set of little flowers over the other side. So you can see that's lining up really nicely. And then we can just grab the pen and just make a notch. We're just tracing around the little notch so that when we put our second one up, it helps to line it up easily. So we just, again, pounce. Now your first layer, you're going to go light. So we're just going to go light here. And then the second layer, so this is that's number 3, number 2, line up in the notch. That'll give us an idea. And then again, we can just line up. So the centers of these little flowers, we'll just make sure they're lined up. And I find this V here on this flower. And then you've got this little flower over here. So if we're lining up that flower as well, then we can be pretty certain we're in the right spot. Now this layer we're going to go a bit darker. I think that's just moved a little bit. So if it's moved a little bit, just, you know, stop doing what you're doing. Now you could put a bit of tape there for extra security, but I find that it usually holds pretty fast because you've got lots of bits to hang on to. So I find I just hold on with one hand and then go with the other. You can then lift it up and go, oh yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Take that off, and then we're going to go number 3. So again, just lining up your notches, lining up the centers of your little flowers. And if they're lined up, then the rest of your flowers should be pretty good. And again, we're going to go nice and heavy here so we get some nice dark centers on the little flowers, and maybe not quite so heavy on the rest of it. And then we can lift it up and go, oh yeah, I'm quite happy with that, and then take it off. So you've got that. Then we're going to swap over inks. I'm going to close this ink pad. So to close, all you do is pull this little tray and close it up. Then we've got the green. Here it is, right, sitting here in front of me. And we need number 4. So you can see here, you've got the more open leaves here, and then you've got the detailed one here. So we do the 4 first. So again, because this is the main one, we're going to go light. So again, popping it in the notch, and then we can just twist it a little bit to line up the rest. So again, just pounce and go light. Bring that one off. And then we've got our next one. Again, so popping it in the notch and lining it up. Making sure, so see how we can see the pink here? So we know that's not lined up. We need to just give it a little shift. Line that up. Now we can't see any white. We can't see any pink. So now a little pounce, and we're going to go darker. Okay, I can lift it up. Have a look. Yep, happy with that. Close this up before we make a mess somewhere. That's it. Okie dokies. So we can move this off. Just going to pop some tape on the back of this. Ready to go on the card. So on this little die cut is from the Unbounded Beauty set, the Sentiments. It's a lovely little scallop, and the little happy birthday is also from that set. So I'm just going to ink that up with some black. Just going to center that, and then I'm just going to add the little daisy that also is in that set, in the Layers of Beauty set. And just because I can see there's a little bit of empty space there, so I'm just going to stamp that on just to give it another little bit of detail there. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of the pink to that as we've gone the green. So I'm kind of liking that off-kilter look. So that's what I'm going to do for this one here. So I think just like that. And then I'm going to mount this piece. Oops, there goes my mounting tape. So just a few bits. Doesn't have to be lots. And then I'm going to pop at the bottom of this. So because I'm going to mount it onto the mounted die cut, I'm just going to put this, because where I've put the tape, that's where it will actually attach to the rose piece. Just take the backing off. So I think just like that, I'm happy with. And then I think and the card's done. So I hope you've liked that little card. Please give me a like or send me a message. I'd love to hear what you think. Okay, look, have a wonderful weekend, and if you need me at all, if I can help you in any way, if I can be of service to you at all, please feel free to contact me. Okay, thanks. Bye.